Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay.
So today we're gonna do little bit of interactive session, right? So we have been talking about very deep subjects: ascension, divine oneness, enlightenment, how to not fall in traps, how do you make sure that you are ascending in your life, what are the ways that how you bring it together. So we spoke about a lot of depth on the subjects, and then everything was more into the reality, the soul consciousness, the self-realization, the liberation, whatever we call, all that we spoke about, right? Enlightenment and all that. Now we want to take the opportunity today to talk about your experiences, right? Any questions you may have, right? I didn't want to add one more topic on top of it today. I want to give it a break to make sure that in your practices, in your state of being, what are your growth? Either it is simulators that are helping you to grow, or you may have questions. When you ask questions, everybody also gets benefited, right? I usually love to do Q&A kind of a format because it helps everyone to grow, because we are all going in the same pace. So every one of us can learn from everyone, and our soul evolution will be fastest. So when you have questions. So with the intent of that, today's session, I have kept it pretty open. So please just put your camera on if you can, and you can ask any question, and then we'll talk about it. I will open it up for the floor to any one of you to ask questions, and then we can just follow the orders. Right? Please raise your hands, and then we can unmute. I think you can unmute yourself, actually. It's open. So Bharati, is it unmute?
We can unmute, sir.
Yeah.
Unmute? Okay. All right. Go ahead and ask your questions, and then we'll start.
Yeah, I can start maybe.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So the question what I was pondering upon is, how do we incorporate Seva, and how do we incorporate that onto a daily life to enhance our spiritual growth?
So first of all, for us to understand, there are two aspects of service. Service that is physical bound, service that is non-physical or spiritual bound, right? So if you are doing service at a physical level, obviously at a body, mind level or senses level, then you are going to get comfort. You're going to get what you're looking for. But that will not yield you into the highest type of service. The highest type of service that is available in this earthly plane, right? The so-called earthly plane is spiritual service. Even on the spiritual service, what type of service you have taken up, matters. The sequence of it. Highest of the service is you are making the individual independent of your dependence. That is the highest of the orders, if you look at it. So in the physical service, most of the time, what we call, you are serving in a temple, you are actually feeding others food, or you are doing some monetary kind of a thing, or you are helping them achieve certain things, cleaning up, clearing up things, or you're providing some kind of, physical assets that you're giving in. All these are physical service, right? The reason they are more physical is the other person. So if you are feeding a person food in the morning, right, as part of service, that individual at the night or next day morning will show up again and say that, okay, I'm ready for the next meal, right? So that's why physical service is good. It is good. Always, any type of service is a good thing. But when you come to spiritual service, you are more or like making the individual independent of you. This is very, very important. The concept of spiritual service comes at the higher state of your soul growth. When you are a mature soul or above, typically you tend to choose spiritual service versus physical service. In the spiritual service, both have to be done at the heart space. It's always, we have to remember service has two things, right? One is you should not be doing with the ego, number one. Number two, you should not be expecting any results out of your service. That is called service. So on the physical level, you get whatever you get as part of your, the good deeds will give you good kind of karma, and then it gives you a lot of good lifestyles. You subsequent lifestyles will go better and all that. But when you come into the spiritual, you're actually doing it with a very authentic purpose. You're only serving because you see that it is not just my family is not my family, this entire world or universe is my family. That's why spiritual service as the highest order on the earthly plane. I know I gave a long answer, but did it answer the question?
Yeah, it did, right? And also looking for ways, how do you incorporate this on your day-to-day basis?
So what we should have is, first we should have the right attitude, right? Right understanding is important. Right attitude is important. And then there is always this balance, right? If I am not doing my duty towards my family, my karmic family, and I'm only bound to do duty to my soul family, that is not right. You have to always balance it. You have to take care of your karmic family, which is your physical family that you are with, and yet fulfill the service of your soul family. So in that regard, what happens is you should always look at the balance. Patriji talks about this, hey, Monday to Friday, you are with your family, you do your karmic family work, you do your duties, and you do your best to your family. But when you come to the weekends, try to do work for your soul family. Try to do service to the humanity. What happens when you try to divide your time that way, and slowly, whenever you get opportunity, right, try to do service of the highest order, is it releases the karmic baggage. Whatever may be the service, whether it is physical service or spiritual service, it will release your karmic bad karma when you do it with no identification and no expectation. So that's why it is important that every one of us, as part of our own growth or spiritual upliftment, you have to bring service. Now, whether it is a duty bound or it is a service bound depends upon the situations. In the family life, you have husband, wife, you have kids, you have parents, you have everything that's come to you, right? If you are working in service and your partner is able to take care of your karmic family, that's one way to look at it, right? You don't have to always sacrifice, or you don't have to always be in the duty. You can share the load within the family and figure out opportunities to serve, because only through service, and the reason why this is the important topic for especially spiritual growth, is service is the highest of the penance that is available. After all my work through practice of meditation, learning the knowledge, getting my own wisdom, everything what I do, my last state before I leave earthly plane is service. You will not be given the Buddhahood certificate if you are not in service. So it is absolutely essential No matter to what extent you grow in your spiritual state, right, or in the soul evolution, the last step of it before you leave this world is service. They will ask, they will see, right? The astral masters will see, have you served what you have learned? Have you given? Have you understood the concept of giving? Have you given everything what was given to you by universe? Because ultimately, whether it is a practice of meditation or the knowledge or whatever the physical assets, the life, whatever we have, universe has given us. Now, are you ready to give it back to universe? That is the last test. So that's why if you look at all the grand masters, they end up, every one of them will end up in their last lives as service. And right after that service, they will transcend from earthly plane, go to the next level. It's a good question.
Thank you.
It's good. You can raise your hands, masters.
Go ahead, Sushma ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is, I will try to explain my question actually. So we sometimes we encourage to share our experience when we have during meditation, but sometimes we also discuss we should not be. If you have any experience, don't focus on that side. It can, because of that, you won't be able to go to your ultimate goal, truth. These experience can be, like Brahm type of thing. So what's like, we are looking at same thing into different ways. So if you can talk about this, that would be awesome.
Sure, ma'am. So experiences, right? Who is the one that is experiencing every time? This is a question that we have to ask every single time when you are, whether you are meditating or you're outside of meditation in your daily lives, or you're sleeping, there is someone who is experiencing it, and there is someone who is watching that experience. The reason why we are not supposed to do analysis paralysis of these experiences is because you are identifying with a false identity. The one who is experiencing these experiences is not your real reality, right? Your identification of your mind is what is experiencing in these three scenarios. That's why they say that, even Patriji talks about it, saying that three things should never be analyzed: your experiences in meditation, your experiences in your life, in your experiences in your sleep, dreams. They should never be analyzed because you are witness of all these three. Whoever is experiencing, you are witnessing it. Because I don't have that gap, because I don't identify with the real I am identifying myself as a false I am. The false identity that you have, who is the experiencer, when you try to put more effort to understand it, to analyze this, what happens? Your identity is growing. Your mind is growing outwardly. Whereas in meditation, you're trying to bring your mind inward. You're trying to annihilate the mind, right? You're trying to make the mind is not available. You're going to the soul state. That is the goal of meditation, zero thought state. But instead, when you're analyzing, you're giving more power to that. Exactly opposite. That's why we're not supposed to analyze it. Number two, which is important, is when you are meditating, you talked about experience, right? When you are sharing experience, you are supposed to share your experience as a witness. Okay, that this thing came to me. You are sharing for two things. One, for you to have the clarity what that experience is. There is a learning that you learn out of it. Number two, you are letting everyone know, the like-minded people, that there is something like this that came my way. Those who are wise in their soul evolution, they learn from your experience. The best way to grow is to learn from others' experience. If I'm hearing your experience and I got this, that, okay, this is how it happens in meditation, so I should be aware of it. Next time it comes to me, I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to become a witness and I'm going to grow in my soul journey. Your experience has helped me to grow faster. That's why you share.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Dinesh sir, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. My question is, why do some people have experiences and some don't? I know some people who've been meditating for years and never have experiences, and some people who just started and they started having experiences. What is the reason behind it?
So the best way to look at it is, again, identifying with an experiencer. We need to get out of it. Whatever is happening, let it happen and you witness it. That's the state, right? And that witness is who we are. And that's what is we call, like, the state of witness, a state of being, whatnot, right? Now, to get to your question, why it happens is, initially when you are beginning meditation first time, then you are slowly getting into your state of being, right? From the state of physical to the mental to intellectual, which is intuition, and eventually you go into your soul state. In that journey, your mind will create a lot of things. Mind has got this power. The power of mind is very, very, universal, right? It's by far the most powerful besides the soul. So what happens is, your mind starts to give you these illusions, whether they are the pictures, they are some of these things that you remember, etc., etc. Astral travel, third eyes, or whatever, right? Now, if you try to sequence it, it is not necessary that every one of us gets same experience in the same order. Number one. Number two, why do some get it and others don't get it? If you have journey on meditation has started in your previous lifetimes, then what happens is, in this lifetime, you have already transcended all of that. Only the yogic experiences, you will, wherever you left off in your previous birth, you pick up from there in this birth, right? You don't start from zero. You start from where you left off in past. So in most cases, those who are not experiencing it, either one, they already have went through those experiences in their past lives, at which point you don't need to go through it now, you are in the higher state. Because when you have transcended beyond mind, there are no experience, there is only stillness, right? So you may be experiencing stillness, but you may not know about it. That's why you're saying that I need experience. When experience is there, it's a mind level, which is a lower state. And number two, you may not have anything to do with the happening aspect of it. Whatever is happening, I am just a witness. When you have that state of witness or state of thought that way, anything that is happening in that space of meditation, you are just there. That's it. It doesn't really matter whether you are getting experiences or not. But to answer the question, most likely whoever is there, because most of the soul level evolution, if you are a matured soul, you come into meditation. For you to get to that maturity, you probably would have gone through it in the past, and now you picked up where you left off. That's why you don't see those beginners meditation experiences that typically come as visions, colors, and all that. Did I answer that, or you?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh.
And another question I have is, when you get to the void state, you are not experiencing any kind of energy at that point. Like you have energy coming into you, but you're not feeling the jerk or like your head is not spinning or anything like that at that point. You're in a calmer, like still state. Is that correct?
Yes. See, there is no experience called energy, right? You cannot see the energy. Second thing, it is only the sensations that you feel which will help you understand that there is some movement happening in your energy. Now, all we have to see is my life better by doing meditation, right? How is my life? How is my day? If you see you have a better day, then that's it. If you are calmer, if you are relaxed, if you are not reacting, if you are able to balance the conversations, if you are not emotionally outburst, all these are the indications that you have high energy. The exact opposite will happen when you have low energies, right? Health gets disturbed. You are not in your mind space, or in the right space. You are never in the present moment. All these things happen because you don't have the right energies. So the measurement of energies cannot be done during meditation, but what you do is the outcome of it, the effect of it, which happens outside of meditation. You probably will see in most cases, right? Hey, something was bothering me, it no longer bothers me, because you have more energy, and that thing is no longer an issue for you.
Yeah, your tolerance level immensely increases. That is, I experience it every day now.
Exactly. Tolerance goes up, every aspect of it. The love, the compassion, the ability to receive. You are no longer reacting, you're only responding. A lot of these changes come as part of the energies that you have received in the meditation. So always try to associate to yourself to have that. Hey, how was I last week? How am I doing today, or yesterday to today, right? You always will become a better version of you when you do meditation every single day. But if you try to put a measurement to it, you will not be able to do so, because it's not easy to say that, okay, because there are zillion things happening when you're meditating. All your four bodies, the first four bodies or five bodies, are getting a lot of energies. There is a lot of, there is a DNA shift that's happening. There is like your karmic, the cells are getting energized. Your body is getting, physical body is getting, healing aspects of it. Everything is happening in parallel in all these bodies. So for us to put a boundary to say, hey, here are the five things that are happening, it is going to be very, very difficult. So that's why look for the effect or outcome of it.
Thank you, sir.
Next, just raise your just put your
Savita ma'am, go ahead.
yeah, put your thing and we can ask the question.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a question. So, say for example, when we go to new environments or new places, say for example, if the energies are very low, and the people, when we carried over with the people's conversations, and like we are totally carried away. Like sometimes it happens, right? No matter how much we do the meditation and all, when we go to the new environment where the energies are very low and all. So how do we recover from that? I mean, like I got a situation where there is no awareness, there is no, nothing was there, just like zero, I should say. It happens, right? Like with the conversations and all. So what is the situation is trying to teach us is first question. And even like even when I try to do meditation, I know like when we do meditation, we come to our own state and all, but the situation is so that the situation is kind of like I don't even feel like doing meditation in that low energies and all. So how do we come out from that kind of situation is one question, and what is the situation is trying to teach us is another question.
Okay. So the energies, right? So there is always energy balance that happens in the universe, right? There are places where you have higher energies, especially the mountains and some of the, very, the place has got energy because the electromagnetic frequencies that go around has a wavelength, right? When the frequency is higher in some planes versus others, it is a natural thing, right? There is always flow of energy always flows. So sometimes you may get into spaces where the energies are not so profoundly positive, right? So what happens in those cases is when you go there, number one, you pick up those energies, especially if you are sensitive. Kids usually are very sensitive. So when they go into the lower spaces, they usually pick up those energies, and that will bother them, in a physical level or a mental level or emotional level, right? Something. And even as a meditator, especially the beginners, or if you are in the mid state of meditation, it is important to understand that first, if you are able to avoid those spaces, knowing that that space is not going to be comfortable for me, we can do so. Number one, avoiding is best, right? Prevention is better than cure. If you cannot avoid it, what do I do is you can close your aura. I'll give you this in 3 levels, right? Beginners, little bit in the senior level, and then when you are in the state of divine oneness. So in the beginner level, you want to look for your aura to make sure that your receiving and sending capabilities are logged in, right? You always want to receive from your higher self, which will always give you information about how you are progressing in any given point of time through intuitions. So you always want to keep that connection open, never close that. But you can close it by the command, right? You can close your aura saying that, hey, I want to close my aura to everyone except for my higher self. And then just close your eyes for 15-20 seconds and then feel that's what happened. That's one. The other way to do that alternatively is light. White light is beautiful. You can invite that white light from upper worlds. It will help you to lock your aura as well as create some kind of a balloon kind of a thing that you're visualizing it, saying that that is protecting you. You can use that as an option. Or golden light is also an option. The third one, it is angels. Angels can also give you protection. You can ask for angels or your spirit guides or guardians to say, I need to be protected. I'm going here. I don't have the right feeling here. I want to close it out. You can do that too. Right? And now, if you are a little more advanced in it, you can use violet fire, where you are trying to not only protect your energies, but you're also trying to cleanse that energies. For example, sound decibels like, Aum. If you are able to chant Aum in the place where the energies are not so relevant, it will help you to shift the energies to positive side, right? Similarly, you can sit and meditate and radiate that light that you get it from the divine worlds, and you can send it across to that place and then transform it as well. If you know how to visualize it in a proper channel, you can do that, which will a little bit senior meditators can do some of that things to make sure that the area is cleansed out, area is not having any karmic baggages or any kind of the emotional state which is actually creating that negative impact. You are trying to dissolve that and all that, right? The third one, which is divine oneness, when you are in the truth, no energy can come closer to you because you are carrying such a heavy, highest of the energies, truth energies with you. So you are the divine oneness itself. Your aura is always vibrating, radiating, and you have become a medium through which the divine work is happening. At that point, the supporting conditions will not affect you, right? Because it is part of the oneness. So that's how it is.
Okay, sir.
Any?
Thank you.
Did I answer the questions?
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I cannot see the questions here, but
Yeah, I have a follow-up question on the same question Savita ma'am asked.
yes, please.
Yeah, so let's say if you're in a situation where the energies are low, uh, like should we lock the aura before getting there, before getting into that area, or you go there and then lock it there? How it should be done? Can you please explain a little bit on that?
Yes. Ideally, you want to do it before you get there if you know about it, right? But if you have gotten there and you felt it, sometimes you don't know about it, you go there, it's an unknown space to you, you went there, and then you start to realize that this place does not carry right energies, and you're feeling it emotionally, or you're very uncomfortable in a situation. Now you can also do that, right? But by the time you already went in, the auras got exchanged, right? You probably would have picked it. So light would be a right way to do that. At that point, you want to clear your aura with the light, divine light, and then you are actually sending it out there. If you are willing to do so, you can do so as well. Send it out there and then release all that, whatever is holding up there, right? Just have the right feeling, you know now, in some cases where you are going there but you are not in a position to do yourself, right? You don't want to stick around for a longer time, right? When you know that the area is not that suitable for you, it is not helping you in your growth, you should find opportunities to not to stick around for too long and do your thing, whatever it is, and then just try to leave, right? That way you're protected. Now what do you do when you come home is, ideally, you can have salt bath. Warm water with salt is a good way to cleanse that energies. Whatever you carry, the aura gets cleansed out to that. Or you can have an intention, or you can come home and then sit in meditation if you have a energy room, right? Or any place where you have your meditation happening, you can come and sit. You can, if you have crystals, you can have them together, or any kind of pyramid, anything that you have that can give you higher state in a faster time. You can associate that and come and make sure that you are doing little more meditation, right? That way you're not carrying in your home the same energies.
One last question, sir.
Yes, please.
So, if you are not able to get out of that area, like let's say if it's like, let's say it's a family situation where you went traveled somewhere to the family and there's a negative energy over there, you're not able to leave that area. Can you still take that saltwater bath while living in the same house or somewhere?
You can. Salt water bath will always clear your aura,
Yeah.
and then
And
you come out and then you go back into that area and then you'll pick it up again.
oh man.
So you got to take the bath, make sure that you have the right intention, that I'm cleansing my aura, I'm gonna clear off everything, and then I'm free. Just have the right feeling, right? Heart space feel. After that, you are pretty much done there, right? But then when you go back again, right, try to lock your aura before you get there. You just have to
Yeah.
say, hey, I want to lock my aura. Just sit in meditation for a few minutes and say, hey, I'm gonna lock my aura except for my higher self. You can actually experiment this. Please experiment it. You
Yeah,
can
I'm
try
gonna.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
a
can
very
try
good
this.
idea.
Yeah, you can actually, you will see difference when you lock your aura and go to places where it is not so comforting. You will see when you come back, your state has not disturbed. But when you don't lock it and then you go, and then you can see the difference.
So this can be applied actually to unknown places too. Like when you're going to the place where you don't know how the energy is, maybe it's a just good idea to lock your aura before you go to any of these unknown places.
Right. But at some point we have to grow out of it, though. So, because we are in truth, right?
Hmm.
As part of your ascension, when you are in that state of witnessing, state of separatedness, survival, you probably are going to do some of these things. But as you grow into your spiritual evolution, when you are in the state of divine oneness, you are carrying higher energies than anything else, because there is nothing can touch you, because you are in the state of reality, right? So we have to come out of, hey, this is affecting me. No conditioning should be there in your mindset that should disturb you to say that, hey, outside external factors are influencing my inner. It's actually other way around. The truth is, your inner is affecting the outer. So you have to raise your vibrations, raise your frequency, and raise your wisdom to a point where you are seeing only that oneness, right? That's the goal.
Thank you, sir.
Next, just raise your hand if you have a question.
Triket, go ahead.
And why do we say that after some point you have to get over all the techniques, like the protection techniques and all those?
So the reason for that is your practices can only take you so far. After that, our life should become the practice, right? Life itself has to be in the witness. We see, how is life celebration? How is life joyful? How is my life happy? If I'm not living that, if I'm always trying to close my eyes and sit in meditation for hours and hours, where do I actually feel it? I have to feel it in my life, with the family, with the relationships, while you are at work, in the worldly actions that you're doing every day. That is where you're supposed to celebrate. That is where we are supposed to have the joyful moments. If I'm stuck at doing these practices all the time, and only when I'm practicing, I'm feeling better, and I'm coming out, I'm not, then the duality is still sticking on. The separatedness is still there. Right? So the idea is at some point, start coming into that divine oneness where you have achieved your ascension. You have raised your consciousness from ego level to the universal awareness. And now you are living with that awareness. So that's why it's important, as you keep practicing meditation and getting the knowledge, the growth happens to a point. After that, it's a steady growth. Once you are enlightened inside, the growth is very steady. And you have to live the life as enlightened. So that means that you are in the society, you are, whatever you have earned, now you're burning it every day with the right mindset, with the right thought process, with the right way of living, with the right way of actions. So that's how it is supposed to be. It's a natural evolution.
Yeah, Savita ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. I have one more question. So, why is India called Karma Bhumi and America called as a Boga Bhumi? And it's still applicable even in this Kali Yuga, like till this point.
So the reason why in the Vedic culture, this comes back from the Vedic culture, right? In the Vedic culture, the way it used to be is the energies, the formation of the lady, what do you call deer, right? The lady deer that has the two stones like that, right? That which actually lives in the area of Himalayas, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, and the space where it is roaming, that space has been called as Karma Bhumi. The significance of karmic Bhumi versus, Bhoga. Bhoga means you are enjoying, right? Enjoyment. The difference is the earth carrying the state of energies. In some part of the earth, you have certain higher energy. We talked about it earlier, right? Mountains have higher energies. Similarly, earth is also shifting in the plane, right? So in the karmic bhumi, you have the Vedic aspects where you do a lot of ritualistic work. When you are doing ritualistic work, that bhumi or that earth, that part of the earth has the authority to receive it. And it is going to help you in the process of that karmic work, whatever you're doing. When you are in the Bhoga Bhumi, where you don't have the ritualistic aspects of it, you are more in the state of hey, I'm just gonna be myself, right? There is no ritual, right? Even when you do rituals, the power that grows out of it is much lesser. Now, how does it compare against a meditator, right? That's what we need to look at it. How okay, Earth has got different planes, and if every plane has got its own state of energies, and Earth is transcending from this level to fifth dimension, and all that is good. But how is it affecting me as a meditator? It should not affect much, because there are planes even in the bogic, like where we are, where you will have higher energies. You just have to be in the receiving side of it. If you are able to receive the energies with the right amount, our growth will never be subjective, right? Or objective. I cannot put an object saying that, hey, I'm doing meditation there, I'm having good experience, I'm sitting here, but I'm not having right experience. This feeling of conditioning is happening because I have not gone beyond my state of mind. Because in the universe, there is only one law that is applicable: divine oneness. If I get to that, nothing else can disturb me. So to answer the question, hey, in the Vedic concept of it, karma bhumi, bhoga bhumi, are, there are different layers, like 7 planes are there, right? So that's how it's distinguished. You get the answer, ma'am?
Yeah, I got the answer. So thank you.
Yeah, I think there was 240-409-1135 number. Not sure who is that, but looks like you raised your hand earlier. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead. Not sure.
Yeah, I am Vani.
Oh, hi, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a question. Like previous, like before this question, you were saying that like at the point, at one point, you will be like not doing the meditation and then just acting like you are completely done with it, and then just like implementing the things. So how do we know that we are done and we are not supposed to do like the hours of meditation and then going to like implement those energies?
Your inner will guide you, ma'am. When you go to that state of being, when you become that state of being, the inner will tell you that you no longer have to sit and meditate. Your heart will tell you that you have done enough. Now you go serve or you go live. So it is the inner guidance that comes from your higher self that will help you to shift. That's why that shift happens in meditation. That shift happens. That's what we call transformation. Right?
Okay, it guides you.
So that's how you know. Or I mean, see, the message will reach you, whether it comes from the inner aspect of it or there is an external a guru or somebody will look at it and say, hey, guide you, saying that that is how it is, and then you go back into meditation, then you will receive. Always listen to your inner, right? Always listen to your heart. So you will get signals or symbolic messages that you can take, and then if you go to your inner will help you guide, saying that, hey, you are about done and now you have to live. So life itself will become meditation.
And one more question I have is like eating a vegetarian food helps you, but what about if you eat the same food from outside?
Eating,
Then is it gonna affect or like from outer side somebody else cooked?
why
Is
should
it?
you eat vegetarian food, you're asking?
No. Like when we do the meditation, some kind of foods are like not helpful. So like you say that like a vegetarian food is better for the meditator, right?
Right.
So even the vegetarian food, do we need to eat the food that made in a like a protected environment or outside food sometimes affects?
It is always the deeper you want it to go, the greater the care that you should do for food, because food is a direct impact to your energies, right? Food has an impact on your mind, and if your mind is raised, you cannot meditate, you cannot go deep. So for you to keep your mind at balance, at state of calmness, you have to eat the right food. So the right timing, right eating, right cooking, you have to do consciously cooking. You have to be mindful of eating. A lot of these things have been brought in to make sure that you have a set of discipline, to make sure that through the external factor of your food, your mind is not getting disturbed. A disturbed mind cannot meditate.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it happens with me if I eat outside. I feel something like previously I never used to experience this, but since I feel like the difference when I eat outside.
The difference
Yes.
is because you have expanded your awareness now. Your awareness has now gone into the mental space. So whenever you are eating something, now your awareness on the mental space will tell you that something is not right. As you expand your awareness by doing daily meditation, you will start to get this reflection inside saying that, hey, where I am standing, what I am doing, you're very sensitive to energies. It's a natural thing.
Yeah, that's I can experience.
Eating
I'm
outside
seeing.
is a concern, because when you are eating outside, one, you are the one who is making that food, whatever the state he is in, whether he took a bath, I mean, a lot of that affects, the person who is cooking the food, his energies are in the food. And the person who is serving the food, his energies are there. And the person who is eating, he's taking all that. So it is essential that you actually are very careful when you're doing that, right? That's why you say, when you're outside some spaces where you are not supposed to eat, you are eating it, you bless the food, or you kind of give some light or some things, right? Making sure that the food is not affecting you. You got to take care of your precautions.
Okay.
The best way is avoid eating outside if you can. And if you have to eat some leafy vegetables, salads, soups, which has got a very lighter impact than eating a heavier meal, which is especially, eating buffets and all outside is not recommended, because the food is open out there. The energies are, when you do not close, you have a utensil that you made a curry, and the curry has no lid on it. What happens is, over a period of time, that energy will stay in there. And in buffets, you see, like 2-3 hours, they keep it open, right? They keep it open like that, and they keep adding stuff and all. And that's why either you eat first in the buffet, or just find a way to eat it through menu or something like that. Just be cautious of it, that yes, your energy will get disturbed. First of all, you are outside in restaurant, in a public space itself is a number one thing, right? So all of that will affect your progression. Yeah.
And one more question I have is how much is it important doing meditation and then listening to that knowledge sessions? So each goes a balance. We need to
See, meditation will allow you to reach higher frequencies. At the state of higher frequency, there is a corresponding knowledge tied to it. That knowledge you will receive, through which you will experience that knowledge, right? That is how you shift from one state to the next state. When that shift happens is how you know that, okay, that this, now I am living that knowledge. So knowledge is always greater. Knowledge is the one that will bring you out of your miseries. Knowledge is the one that will make you enlightened, not the meditation. Meditation will take you there, help you to receive that knowledge in that order, and you practice that, you become that.
Yeah, I feel like a couple of days I didn't join, but after joining I see the shift.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Can I ask one follow-up question on that, sir?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So how do you manage when you travel? When you're traveling, how do you manage this food situation?
Correct. It's a good question, right? How do you manage is basically you're aware that wherever you're going, you're very sensitive. Most of the times, try to avoid places where there is too much of a traffic, especially if you are a meditator who is looking for a deeper shift. You got to avoid places where it is too crowded. Number two, if you are going there, try to order from the menu, not from the buffet. And number three, if you are able to eat sattvic, which is more subtle food like salads, or some, one curry with some kind of a roti or something, which is not gonna affect significantly. But know that the fact that you're outside, you're open, right? So try to be more careful. You cannot avoid it. Sometimes when you're traveling, you cannot avoid it, but try to. It's your taste versus your state, right? So you may have a trigger that, hey, I got to go eat this thing. This is like mouth watering for me, I want to do that. And when you go there, you see that place, it's not so clean, it's not, the ambience is not good, you're feeling that energies are not right in place. And when you start seeing people, you feel like, hey, this is not the place, right? Again, you're not judging it, but you are being more careful to make sure that some of that baggage is not coming your way. That way you have to do more meditation to clean it than trying to. It's basically avoiding some of that situations, right? But so to answer, you have to be conscious, you have to be mindful, and be aware that when you are taking it, you got to immediately come back and then do a few minutes of meditation to clear it. And you have to request the food to make sure that the energy is coming in the rightful spirit for you. So some of that will help you to offset it, but not fully.
Yeah, I have another question on the same thing. So if you're not eating garlic at home, or like you're like I'm doing meditation, we'll get all those experiences and everything. The if like say suppose like 3 months later I went out and had it. Um, so the significant of what we were getting, the meditation that will fall down like very significantly, or is it like
It will.
how it will affect?
So garlic is one thing that we should avoid, right? It is the most dangerous thing because it has been given to us by the dark forces, is how it is put, right? It
Mhm.
will not allow you to grow spiritually. So it will not allow you to go deeper. Why it does not allow is, it is absolutely good, right? Exceptionally good for body and mind,
Mhm.
not for a spiritual aspirant who wants to go above body and mind. What happens is it triggers your mind. It's a rajoguna, right? Garlic.
Mhm.
So what
Mhm.
happens is your mind would want to be in the outward space,
Mhm.
exactly opposite to meditation. When you are eating garlic, you can try this, experiment it. When you eat a garlic, you sit, you meditate, you won't be able to meditate.
So what I meant is like even for the 3 months without eating, even like eating after 3 months for once, it will like whatever the 3 months
It
have
will impact
experienced, that all will go down.
yes.
Waste.
It
Okay.
is the energies, right? So when you are taking it, your mind is going outwardly. How long the mind is going to go outwardly? How long, even couple of days of you missing the practice or you not having the state, you are disturbed, right?
Okay.
Not about, hey, I got this thing and then I'm done, right? It's not about that. It's about you being trying to be careful to make sure that your energies are not distorted or disturbed by any manner, external conditions. Number two, you're very aware of your state of being. You're trying to go to a state that you are trying to protect and make sure that your path is clear towards that. Nothing is coming as a hindrance.
So how would like when you said like we can protect our negative energies when we go out, meet anybody, right? In the same way, when we eat outside, like when we put everything in our plate, we can, send something to so that what we eat won't get any negativity.
Yeah, absolutely. Be aware of it when you're eating it. When somebody is serving it to you, make sure, whatever it is, right? And then be aware that when you're eating it, that there is some percentage that's not going to be in your rightful spirit. But then by consciously eating it and making sure that you are putting some divine spin to it, you may probably avoid certain percentage of that, right? So you
Mhm.
cannot totally take it out, but you can nullify a little bit of it.
Okay.
See, I think one thing I wanted to add on that note, right? In India, when they used to say, like, whenever we eat, you should always first be thankful to food what we are eating, and also say, I'm getting positive energy or everything like that before you start eating. Probably doing that also, even if you don't say it loud, but explicitly having some internal feeling that this is going to help me or block me, or first of all being thankful and grateful, that will also be a good thing to incorporate, even if at daily food what we eat, right? Need not be outside every day. With that intention, that can also help it.
Yeah, it is gratitude is always a good thing, especially for anything that you are trying to take in. You have to make sure your gratitude to that, because in terms of food, someone's pain is your comfort here, right? So you have to make sure that you're showing the gratitude, and know that whatever you're taking for your growth, not for you to create blocks or hinder your progress. It is supposed to help you in your state.
Yes, Savita ma'am, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I have one more question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever we are experiencing in the life, in the current moment, is that because of the past karmas, or because of our soul journey? Like, may say for example, this is the in this like prarabdha, I have like 10 challenges or 10 learnings I want to learn in this life. So is that because of that, or really of our past karmas, like whatever we did? Is this the consequence of that?
So 95% most of your this life is because of your last life. Okay, because of your last life, the way it went, you designed the life to have these 10 karmas, whatever you were talking earlier, right? You designed the life to have these prarabdhas to come to this life. The source is the last life, the effect is this life, and you're trying to get over them as learnings. There will be some part, maybe 5% or maybe 1%, whatever that percentage is, the minimal percent, that belongs to this life alone, right? Or the previous lives. There will be some impact of previous lives also, like 2 lives before, 5 lives before, 10 lives before, whatever the karmic baggage that you have been carrying for a long, long time. If you have got the eligibility in your design, you put that in there, which is 5 to 10%, and then the rest of it is all because of the last birth. That's why it's very important. Yeah.
So purely because of the immediate before janma, we choose this prarabdha from the sanchita, like whatever the collection of all the past karmas, or
Correct.
just the previous ones strictly?
The major portion of this life is the previous one. The
Oh.
lighter portion of it is the previous ones.
So, sorry to cut you. So, since we, we already took like so many, say, for example, some 500 or 600 janmas already, say, I mean, hypothetically. So, so all the karmas, I'm sure, like there'll be a lot in Sanchita, right? But I mean, those will be like how immediately they like in the next janmas itself will be, and again like the agami also we create, right? So many agami karmas and all. So how those will be balanced? I think I'm clear like with my question.
Yeah. So I think agami is one that you are building in this life. Sanchita is the baggage. Prarabdha is
Right.
the one that you're going through now, right?
Right.
Now, whatever the agami that you're building, they will become sanchita after you leave this life. It goes into the baggage, and the baggage is ready with another 100 or 1,000, whatever that number is. Now, as you keep clearing your karma, you're creating new karma. But it is not, by through karma, you're not gonna transcend karma, right? Karma creates more karma.
Right.
The way you transcend karma is you got to burn the karma. The way you burn the karma is with knowledge that you carry, right? So at some point during your evolution in your lifetimes, you will start to realize that I'm tired of this going back, coming back, going back, coming back, this chakra of life and death. And I want to really understand if there is anything beyond this life and death. Why do I have to go through this when I have repeatedly going through the same experience again and again, right? At some point, your soul will start to say, hey, I want to learn in a matured way, I want to get out of it. Find an opportunity how I can get out of it. Then you come into meditation. Then you start to look at spiritual knowledge. Then you want to know who you are. So ideally, whenever you are ready to ask the question, who am I? What is my life? Why am I here? These questions are indicators that you are ready, right, to transcend that karmic cycle. And that's when you are no longer creating or following this chain, you're burning as you're progressing. So you will not create new karma because you have got the knowledge now, the spiritual knowledge. Agami is going to be very, very light. You burn your sanchita by cleansing your prarabdha. Because you are doing meditation, when you sit in meditation, you keep burning all that karmic baggage, whatever you're carrying, and you're doing extremely great seva, the spiritual seva, through which you also karma your bad karma. All that will be done. Prarabdha will be over. What happens when prarabdha is over? The sanchita will come and become prarabdhas. Whatever the baggage that you have, the baggage will start to peel, and then the future lifetimes, whatever the karmic you have, they'll start to come in, and then you slowly start to release that as well. That's why more and more meditation will burn your bad karma.
So, is there a way that we come to know that, okay, my prarabdha is done, now I'm experiencing the sanchita part of it, or how do we know? Or is there a way or no?
No, there is way. I mean, you want to know, you got to go to the Akashic records and you can do all that. But when you are enlightened, when you know from your heart space that you're no longer that which you are associated yourself, you're out of that illusion, you're out of that false reality, then when you live as a soul, there is no karma for soul. Soul is soul, right? You are in the divine oneness. So that realization has to come. That's why it's called self-realization. That self-realization has to come through the evolution of your soul and the practices that you have brought in, through which you have abundant knowledge, and that knowledge will help you to create that wisdom within you to have that shift. When that shift happens, you're no longer in the body-mind conscious, you are in the soul conscious. Soul conscious, there is no karma. So you just witness it. That's it.
So, can we say that, okay, say for example, like I'm like in the path of this meditation, seva and all, when we start realizing that, okay, I'm detaching from the things, like we are no more like comparatively like before, like 1 year or 2 years or before meditation, so much of attachment, right? We know, right? Like how, like we are not attached that much anymore. We are getting detached.
Correct.
So can we say that it's a part of our evolution and the ascension
Absolutely.
process?
Absolutely. See, that is the reason. That is the fundamental reason why when you are in service or seva, you're not supposed to have the identity. Because whatever the identity that you're holding, that will receive the deed, whatever you're doing. Like, for example, you did one karya, one good action. That good action has yielded a good result. Whose quota is that? The one who identified with that action will get that quota of good deed. If you are saying that I'm not I, right? I'm just doing it as a medium. There is no ego here. There is no identity here. And you are saying that whatever the result, let it go to universe. I don't want it. I'm not here to expect anything. I'm just serving for sake of serving for my own growth. That's it. Nothing else. Then what happens is that will come to you as knowledge. When you are above your punya and your papa, that is gnana. Gnana means knowledge. Then you are ready for that knowledge. What happens when you get knowledge? You get enlightened. So don't look at it karma as, hey, do I have to clear my karma all the time? No, you don't have to. What you have to do is you have to realize that karma is applicable only to my body and mind, and I am not that. That realization will actually free you from that.
Okay. Thank you.
Someone asked the question, garlic or something. Is it okay to take?
I think onion is the question, right?
Is it okay to take onion? It is okay to take onion, but not too often. You have to be, anything that grows underneath will have an impact which comes with the rajoguna, will impact your meditation. So garlic is absolutely, you should avoid it because it will not allow you to do it. Onion you can have once in a while is fine, but don't try to eat it too often. That way it's gonna hold your progress. I mean, you will really see, eat a onion and you go sit in meditation, you will know immediately that, hey, no, this is not working.
Sir, carrots are grown underground.
Exactly. Carrots also, onions, this
Potato.
aloo, potato too, right? Anything, even brinjal. See, there are sattvic foods that allows you to go again, right? These are the things that you have to bring into your practices, in your discipline, to make sure that your growth is happening in a fastest way, in a shortest time. Once you have reached that state, a little bit of here and there, it is not going to impact you. But while you are getting there, like, it's like when you take a seed and you plant it in the in your backyard or wherever, right? You're going to take care of that seed to make sure that nothing get disrupted. Then it slowly, when it's becoming in the smaller plant phase, you pour water, you nourish it, you put whatever is needed to make sure that you're protecting it. Like the way when you, as a beginner, and you're evolving in your ascension process, or more so in your own soul evolution, you have to protect yourself to make sure that you're not disturbed or distracted too much. When that happens, your growth will get disrupted. Now what happened, that very plant that you were growing, once it becomes a big tree, at that point, even the heavy wind it can hold. Similarly, once you get to that state, you have realized that it's all part of the divine oneness. You are there, and everything is happening at that. You're already ascended, you have dropped your lower identification. At that point, these things will not disturb you much. Doesn't mean that you should go back and eat and all, but it won't disturb you much.
Okay, can you tell the list, Master? You said like potato, brinjal, carrots.
Anything that carries the rajoguna, anything tamoguna, is something that you are keeping in your fridge, you're keeping in your microwaves, you are eating, stale food, something that has sit nightly, something that you are eating after 4 5 hours. A lot of that goes into the category of tamoguna, which will give you lethargic, procrastinate things. Even you become more lazier. Practice is next to your laziness, right? A lot of those things will impact. A very deep effect will be there in your meditative experiences, right? Because you will not be able to go, you will get frustrated at some point why these things are not working, because you are in the tamoguna. Tamoguna will not let you do things. Rajoguna will allow you, some experiences will come in your way. It all depends upon how much you are taking in and all. Food always have to be taken in balance, because food has got direct effect on mind. So you got to make sure that what you are eating, you should know what you are eating, when you are eating, where you are eating, how you are eating, to what extent you are eating. All these things are must when you're eating food, because it has a direct impact on mind, and mind is the one that plays the big role in your meditative experiences, right? Especially if you are going to the beyond the state of mind, that is very important. So leafy vegetables is a good thing, ma'am. Leafy vegetables you are eating, it's a good thing. Anything that has green, it's a very good thing, right? They will help you in your progress. And like that, right? I mean, beetroot is one thing, that also grows under, right? So you should also watch out. You should not eat too much of it. Once in a while you're eating, that's fine. Onion, potatoes, if you eat, it will disrupt the day's progress for you. Like, for example, you had it for lunch, and at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you're sitting for meditation. You try to do it, you will not have the deeper experience, because they tend to affect your mind. It all depends, to what level you are in and how much you have transcended, how far you're going to avoid some of those things. But they will try to pull your mind outward, which will go against your meditative state, right? And then you also have some of these sprouts, some of these green vegetables, they are also very, very good. Nuts are good. And then also in moderation. It's also important that we have to take it in moderation
Right.
to make sure that there is room for a little bit of pranic energy. Right? The four portions of your stomach should contain, solid, then water, then you should have this, which is your pranic energy, right? Two portions with solid, one portion with water, one portion with the pranic energy. That's the best way in Ayurveda. They talk about it. Right? It will balance your kapha, pitta, vata, and all that.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, madam. We'll take one last question before we. Any other questions?
Deepti madam, did you have a question? And I think I saw you raised your hand. If you have a question, please go ahead.
No, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
Master, one request. Can you take one session about karma, like karmic prarabdha and then
Yes.
sanchita prarabdha and agama?
Yeah, we can do. We can do.
Thank you.
Last question going once.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So you just mentioned this, our goal should be to get to that state in a fastest way and in shortest time, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just hypothetically, I am saying, like, if I decide, and you also mentioned, like, in mountains you have higher energy. So if someone decide, okay, I will be living there, like, let's say Mount Shasta for 1 month and doing meditation longer. So do you think that way, we are doing it fastest way and shortest time, it will help to get there?
Absolutely. See, the thing is, it is not about the places, right? The external condition should not matter your inner state. We have to come to a point where it is like, hey, I now understand the concept of what divine oneness means.
Okay.
Wherever I am, whatever I am, I'm just a medium. I'm an entity here that is just carried through the life, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
no bearing whatsoever. If I'm trying to identify myself at a physical level, then I try to identify myself with the places. Then I try to identify myself with the time, right? How long I did meditation, which place I'm sitting in meditation. Because you are preconditioning yourself saying that if I go there and sit, I may have a better experience. If I sit here, I will not have not so great experience. This is all mind conditioning, right? The best way to do it is wherever you are, you always realize that you are the soul, right? And if you try to bring that knowledge and practice into your daily routine, what happens is that shift naturally happens, because the growth is inner, right? Growth is not outside, growth is inside. And the second thing, no external condition can impact your inner when you are in the divine oneness, right? And when you are reaching to that state, yes, initially as a beginner, you are trying to protect it, like the plant, you're trying to take care of it, make sure it's not eaten by animals, nothing is bothering it, the wind is not blowing away. You do certain things just to a point where you have protected yourself. And once you come to have that higher knowledge, now you realize that I don't need to be so worried about all these external factors. I just want to be in that state of bliss. That's all matters, wherever it is. You go sit in a crowded place, you close your eyes, and you are there. That's it. So it is that practice without conditioning that will take you there.
So awareness is basically more important compared to more, energetic places where we say there are more energy. Compared to that, if you are more aware, that's better That's what you are saying, right?
The awareness will come to you when you practice meditation
Meditation.
without expectations.
Got it.
So our goal is to do meditation without expectations. I want what I'm practicing in meditation, I'm practicing my witnessing state. That's all I'm doing. So for me to witness what is happening within me, what has it to do with a place or a time, or it has nothing to do with anything. I just need to have the pure intent, and I sit, and then I just witness myself happening. And the more I witness it, the greater my state is. And the greater the state, higher the awareness. And the higher the awareness, you are in the enlightened being.
Yeah, so I have one more question. So if that is the case, then why we should be, we should meditate close to pyramid, or like I am trying to go to Cosmic Valley. So like then why?
Why?
Then, yeah.
Very good question. The reason why is because at the start of my meditation, I am not in the soul conscious state. At the start of my meditation, I'm in the body mind conscious state. At the body mind conscious state, at a physical level, at astral level, at mental level, I want to experience certain things. I want to feel it. I want to see it. My mind is not going to give me away just like that. You tell your mind, hey, give me away. I want to go into my soul. It is not going to let you, right? Not. So it needs certain experiences. It needs certain type of shifts. So for you to experience some of those things, you go and sit as initial when a body mind conscious. You go to some of these places, you experience them in a faster pace. See, instead of me going through 6 months of a journey every single day, if there is a way that 6-month journey can be completed in 1 month, we love it, right? That's exactly what it is. You are leveraging all these tools to enhance your experience in a fastest way. That way you are reaching that state. Once you reach that state, you are there. That's it. Nothing will affect. Nothing will affect, or nothing can affect.
Thank you so much, sir. And I can share my experience here. So we had this Shivratri overnight dhyan, right? After that, I have seen so much difference. Like I get to that state so quickly. So now, like I can compare meditating on that particular day. I got more, and that day it was more energy, and also because of the pyramid we had, we felt more energy. So same way, if we go to like Cosmic Valley, you experience all those energies, and that will help you.
Exactly. Just faster progression, shorter time.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, sir. It was very informative.
Yes. Thank you.
One last question, Anil garu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when you are into Seva, right? When usually when before meditation, right? Your primary focus is to finish your daily things or work or everything, and then the meditation comes. But like when as you do it, the meditation and the seva, when that becomes a priority and the other things fall down, is it like when the other things, like you're not showing that interest, it's going to the second place, but other things are as important too to survive, right? So how to balance?
See, what it is it's a natural shift.
Okay.
When you become more spiritual, you are in that service mode, right? Self-service, selfless service, right? Self-service is you serving for your own self, which is your family, your duty towards it, your job, your material life, your relationships, all that you are trying to keep. That is your self-service. Selfless service is something that you do. It is a natural shift that happens when you become more spiritual, because when you carry more energies, you want to come out of that comfort zone and you want to go into the unknown territories where you are trying to expand your horizon, because you understand the big picture now. Now what happens is you have to also see that you don't get enlightenment just if you are doing yourself. Enlightenment is all about giving opportunity. It is like Vasudhaika Kutumba, right? You are able to embrace everyone as your family, and you are giving importance to your karmic family, but you are also giving importance to your soul family. which is everyone, including your family. So you are finding opportunities where there is a better way to serve. There is a better opportunity and there is a better reason why you need to do that, right? Like, for example, I say in your family, if you're trying to do, there is a 10% of energy that you're accumulating. When you're serving, you're getting 50%. Wherever there is an opportunity for you to serve, you have to go into that 50%, because the same amount of time, same amount of energy, same amount of knowledge that you're spreading, but 40% more is received on the spiritual side, right? So in that cases, you need to bring your family into that spiritual practice. That way they are all together.
Yeah.
This is what we are all doing, right? This is what we are all doing.
Yeah, true. But my question is like more of like when you are like us, because you are into the selfless seva and all that, you as you're doing, you feel more spiritually attached, right, to do this kind of a thing. When this becomes more like a primary and the secondary, like, you know, the household chores or like a job becomes the secondary, and you're not showing that, I don't know, that the interest goes down. So that's what my question is, like, how to balance.
See, the balance, always listen to your heart. Number one, always remember, do not get carried away. If someone is doing something, I wanted to go do it, right? It has to come from your heart space. Anything that you are doing, even if somebody is telling you, hey, go do meditation, you got to feel it. You got to come. It has to. If you are relaxed, you just sit and close your eyes and you say, hey, this is coming my way. What do I need to do? You will know what to do. Listen to your heart all the time. Now, if there is a duty that you have to take care, and on the same token, you have a spiritual work that came your way, if you are able to alternately manage it, manage it.
Okay.
You have to know that your duties cannot be compromised. Duties must be fulfilled. The karmic design that you built for yourself has certain duties that you have to follow. If you are breaking the chain of rule, you will have to take those karmic lessons again and again. So you cannot escape. My point is, you cannot escape. You have to fulfill your duties, at the same time bring service into your life. So at some point you will have a conflict between this duty and the service. At that point, you need to listen to your heart to say, what is more priority? See, in the Shastras it is tyage naike amrutatva manasu. Without the sacrifice, you will not get enlightenment. At some point, it is a natural, that's why I'm saying it's a natural progress. The natural progress has come to a point where you do not see that, okay, my duty, I'm not failing. You have attended that. You have had alternate ways to manage your duty. But if you are not available there, nobody else is there to teach. So what do you do? So you're sacrificing your duty by putting an alternate means, and you're going and serving the spiritual work, attending the spiritual work, right? So that is how you balance it, to make sure that at any given point of time, your duty is not ignored or avoided or excused, and yet you are able to bring the service into your life.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Nice.
It is very important, because when you are serving, you are releasing your bad karma. Okay. When you are escaping duty, you are creating more bad karma. So it has to be brought in line. That's why the balance has to be there. And that every time, listen to your heart. Listen to your heart.
Good, sir. Thank you.
All right, masters, I think it's about 10:45 now. So if you like this format, once in a while we should bring and take the opportunity to listen to everyone with questions and interactions. It helps to grow in a much faster pace for all of us. So it's a great way to do that. All right. So with that, we're gonna close out for today's session, and then next week we'll come back. Then we'll have good topic. Madam was asking about karma. We'll also cover that in one of the sessions. Make sure we go deep into the karmic lessons and how it helps and all that. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. And we'll see you all tomorrow. And then tomorrow we have satsang at Maryland. If any of you are from Maryland, please do join us. So we are doing satsang at Bharti, you're there? I forgot where we are doing this.
Ellicott City.
Ellicott City. Ellicott City. Who is that? Ravi's place or Sushma's place?
Ravi.
Ravi's place. So Ravi is one of our core master, core PSSM master. So he's in Ellicott City. We are doing satsang tomorrow there. We're starting early, actually, at 5 p.m. So if you are in the area, please do join us. If you want to join us, do let me know. I'm actually driving there. So if you're interested, we can tag along and go together. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.